Hey guys, Defcamp here. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And real quick guys, I just wanted to talk about something that I've been thinking a lot about lately, and I really want to get your guys' input on this. And it's pretty much about the gold farming issue. So, as many of you guys know, back in vanilla there was a huge problem with gold farmers. And, not even just in vanilla, but with pretty much all of WoW's history. And today, WoW offers something called the WoW token, which pretty much allows people to legally buy gold with actual money. And, that's basically what people were doing. They were buying from these online websites where they would have people who would go in-game, farm money, and then you could go to this website and buy that gold with your actual real live money. So Blizzard, after a long time, finally said we're going to make our own version of gold that you could buy, and they came out with the WoW token. But even still, WoW farmers do exist on retail today. But they were a huge problem back in vanilla, back in BC, and in the early days of WoW. And it's pretty stupid to think that they won't come back when Classic comes out unless Blizzard has some way of getting rid of them, which, comes to my question: how far should they go to get rid of these gold farmers? I definitely do not think that they should offer WoW tokens in vanilla. I think that would be a huge change, which I would not be up for. But we all know that, there has been a huge problem with gold farmers in private servers as well. Now, of course, there are less people who are, able to do something about it with private servers. They don't have a giant company behind them, and, but they did have enough power to actually hold a server at ransom by continuously DDoSing that server until they would stop banning the characters who were gold farming. Now that is crazy that an actual gold farming company could actually hold a server at ransom. But that's how powerful these guys are. It's a pretty big industry. So my question is, how far should Blizzard go to try and protect us from these gold farmers? Now, guys, I personally am no changes. I think you guys know that. Melderon is no changes. And I would not like to see anything like WoW tokens, or even anything that wasn't in vanilla, to be there to try and stop these gold farmers. However, I am definitely against gold farmers. And, I would not lose sleep over it one bit if I knew that these gold farmers were, not going to be in Classic, But, that being said, they were a part of Classic. Gold farmers were a part of Classic. And, we all say that, not everything in Classic was perfect. Of course not. Like, one of the things being there was a lot of gold farmers. So, I don't know where I sit on this. I definitely sit as to no changes. I do not want WoW tokens. I don't care how bad the problem gets. I do not want WoW tokens in vanilla. But, that being said, I don't want the server overrun with gold farmers. It's horrible for the server. I mean, on Light's Hope, it's there, but I've tried to ignore it, but it's there, There's add-ons you can get that pretty much block the whispers, because I was getting whispered, sometimes 2-3 times a minute by gold farmers. It's bad, man. So they're there, but I've tried to, I tried to basically ignore it. And, sometimes it's more evident than others, but they're there. You see them all the time. You know, you go to the Badlands, they're there farming elemental earth. You can even look at their names and kind of tell that this is probably a gold farmer, you know, the way they act. And it's definitely bad for the server. So, you know, I'm thinking, you know, maybe they can get away with just having a large team that enforces the policies that, you're not supposed to buy gold, and when people do, they terminate their accounts or whatever. I'm all for that. I think Blizzard should definitely, have action on these people who do buy the gold, and definitely terminate the people who are selling the gold. But, you know, I do not want to see things like WoW tokens. So maybe you guys have some, input on that and have some other ideas about that. I would love to know. But one more thing I just wanted to talk about, guys, before we leave for tonight is, if you didn't see my brother's last video, he did a recent vlog about why he has no changes. And I think it was a great video. You know, he drew parallels to art and how WoW Classic basically is an art form. And if you change WoW Classic, you are basically destroying that art. You are creating something that is not WoW Classic. Like, he drew a parallel with the Mona Lisa. I like to think about Star Wars. So you look at the original Star Wars series. When George Lucas decided to remaster that, look at the outlash there were so many people disappointed about that. And I think that's exactly what would happen to Classic if there were changes. You have something that was so noticeable, so loved by so many people, and basically someone comes along and says, oh, well, I know you guys liked this, but we're going to change this and put that and do this and do that, and then it becomes something completely different, and you have basically, in my eyes, tried to destroy something that was once beautiful and, amazing. So, when I come from this, out of this, I like to think back about, how I'm a pretty idealistic person. I think there should be definitely idealistic people, realistic people, but I definitely lean towards the more idealistic. And in my view, I want to see the community completely together. I want to see that, we can make our voices heard so that Blizzard knows there will be no changes, and Blizzard will listen to us and, bring and give us what we actually want. But, of course, things are not black and white. There's a lot of gray in between. And as you can see, as my brother said in his recent vlog, even in the no changes community, there's two spectrums, within that own community. But, guys, what I want to say now is I think we need to come together. And we need to address to Blizzard that in a respectful manner, in a courteous manner, there's a right way to do things and a wrong way to do things. We need to do it the right way, because if not, we will not be taken seriously. So we need to have our voices be heard, but in a respectful way, in a courteous way, and present our arguments respectfully, and that way we will be taken seriously. But guys, I am not okay with not hearing anything for this long now. Basically what Blizzard did, they announced Classic. That's amazing. That's awesome. I couldn't be happier. But since they've announced Classic, they have basically shut the door and, not even thrown out a piece of paper underneath the door yet. They basically shut the door on us. We're all outside banging on the door asking, okay, guys, when's this coming? Can we have any kind of information? All we want to know, and all we really want to do, is keep the conversation going. But what is going on with the silence? With silence comes whispers. And the whispers have been accumulating and creating rumors, creating things that, get people worried. And, I think we are getting ahead of ourselves because we have heard nothing real and concrete from Blizzard other than two, pretty small interviews that basically said the same thing. Ian saying we know vanilla means vanilla, and a tweet that may not be footage from Classic. That's basically all we've gotten. So I think we need to not get ahead of ourselves here and realize, okay, before we start making these arguments and having these conversations like what patch do we start at? 1.1 or 1.12.1? I think we need to come together as a community and let our voices be heard, because I think we will be taken more seriously if we stand together. I think we will be respected more if we stand together on this. And you know how to do that, I don't know. I'm just saying this. This is how I feel. But I really feel that, guys, we're all on the same side here. You know, the people that are pro changes, that want to have all those changes, I really don't think there's too many of them. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like the no change community is pretty big. I feel like it's the majority of the classic WoW community. And I think we should keep that in mind. And going forward, we should try and have whatever differences that we may have now, keep them aside and focus on our goal, which is to keep vanilla. And to also continue the conversation with Blizzard to have our voices be heard, because I do not feel like our voices have been heard. And, you know, with that said, guys, I want to let you guys know that I really appreciate you guys, and no matter if you're a content creator or not, your voice is just as important as anyone else's. Do not be afraid to let your voice be heard, but please keep in mind to be respectful, to be courteous, and, you know, I know we're all passionate about this, guys, but we're all human beings, and we all deserve to be treated as such. So, however you would want to be treated, please treat the person the same way. Any other person. It doesn't matter. It's just, you know, you could have so much disdain for someone and hate them, but really, I mean, what does it give you by feeding into it? You know, nothing really, except for a headache. So, I don't know, guys. Like I said, I'm kind of idealistic, and I know sometimes that can seem a little, I don't know, just, I really think that we can come together on this and achieve better what we are trying to achieve if we come and work together. So, guys, with that, I would also like to hear your thoughts about the gold farming issue. You know, it is something going forward, looking into it. What are they going to do? What should they do? So, until next time, guys, look forward to a new episode of Super Plate Brothers. We will still be doing that, and we are going to continue this channel. And I thank all the new subscribers, because you guys are awesome, and I love this community that we've grown. And without you guys, I would not be doing this. So, cheers to you guys. I really love you. Keep on grinding and keep binding. All right, guys. Defcamp out.